Hi, Leo. Welcome to your reading for November 2023. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Those intuitively guided. You may have planets in a sign of Leo. I know my daughter did her chart, and she was surprised how many planets she had in Leo. So you just never know. Um, or you're here checking up on a Leo. I don't blame you. As many of you know, my son, who is crossed over, was a Leo, August 12th. And I know some of you share his birthday. I think that's awesome. I always feel like he's in our readings. Like I feel him in our readings. So, um, and I think if anything, because he knew what I did for a living, and I feel like I think he would just think it's like really cool on his end. I don't know. But anyway, so my mom, who also crossed over August 5th, my I guess stepdaughter, but to my ex, August 2nd. I know I don't say that very often, but I don't know why. And then Sam is right on that cusp. He is a Virgo, but he is August 23rd. All right. Anyways, I think my mind is already getting into the reading. Let's go ahead and begin. We're going to use three different decks, of course. We're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify. Page of Cups on the bottom. Might be something about like your inner child energy. I feel like when you don't get to play, and that doesn't mean not work, because I feel like where are you happiest? Where you're working somewhere that feels like play. Now, like it just mean it brings you inner joy type of energy. So if you don't, maybe that's what this is about. So we'll see. Anyways, I was gonna say I chose, but it really chose me, the Universal Tarot to do your main spread. I've been using it as a clarifier this month. Um, just because I've just fallen back in love with it. It's how I am with my decks. I fall out of love, then I fall in love. But I'm back in love. So, anyways, let's go ahead and start with Mother Mary. Let's open up your reading. I'll stop talking. I hope a lot of you did catch. I'll stop talking and then I start talking. I hope a lot of you did catch last month's reading because in the beginning, I gave you a message that I received and actually a physical guitar, which is part of our readings now. That I do. I know they were from my son. I know this guitar is from my son. It's just ironic. Uh, and all beautiful. The way the day came together, like different messages, but not just from one person. And just the way it all came together, it was like there was no doubt in my mind. And my God, if he can send me a guitar, I mean, literally, Sam walked in my office coming home from the post office, and he said, "I saw this along the curb," and I thought, well, maybe Sandy will want it. And he has a guitar, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing because many of you already know it. But Diane, who is a Leo, had been channeling Steve, and she sent me quite a message. And then just a long list of things that happened that ended up with a guitar that looks just like Steve's guitar, by the way. It's even worn in the same places his are worn, like, on the different frets. Anyway, I tell you that because, I'm not exclusive. Your guides can do the same for you and probably are. If you're like, no, not mine, then, first of all, ask them and then keep your eyes and ears open. All right. Wow, you got a lot. but they're all face up. Like, what's going on, Leo? I'm gonna take them all. I'm probably not gonna, I normally read them from the book at the end. I'm not gonna read them all at the end, but I am gonna read them now. On the card, God. First card, God. It's funny because part of Steve's message is, I'm with God, Mom. I'm with God. And it just, and I am love. I am love. And those two lines alone just, I don't know, well, they do something to a mother's heart. Anyway, God, I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. I feel like my screen just got super dark and it did. God, joy. By enjoying this moment, I am giving thanks to God for my life. That's probably why I was talking about your inner child. And it can talk about pure joy, not just joy, but like pure joy. All right, self respect. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. Prayer. Instead of worrying, I pray about this situation to bring about real solutions. That is what we're seeking after all. That's why my readings are so long because, you know, I don't, like, of course I'm going to tell you where you've been, but you want to know more, like, what's the potential where you're going. And that takes time, I feel. At least that's what I feel. Anyway, faith. I have faith in God to heal this situation. Look at that. So, self respect's in the middle of all of this right now, but you have God on one end and faith on the other end. And next to God is the energy of joy, and next to faith is the energy of prayer. So, I don't know. I feel like that alone is a message. We're going to keep them. I'm actually going to bring this lid down now. Did I already do that? Anyway, we're going to keep them. I might just spread them out so that I can see them throughout the reading. Anything that comes face up, one of the rules at my table is that I take it. If it's face down and I'm not really feeling it, then I trust my intuition. But if it's face up, to me, it's like, okay, important. God, joy, self respect, prayer, and faith. Saying that prayer and then having faith that it will be answered. Okay, let's give them a cut. And let's begin the main portion, or I should say the tarot portion, because that was pretty big there. I feel like that is, I almost feel like it's a message for everyone. We have the Emperor, card of Aries, father figure. Leader of the people. Interesting that your major arcana comes out, the Sun, next to the Emperor. For many of you, I feel like Leo, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be Leo's son, but because I read for a lot of Leos, I feel like you're very creative, but I feel like at the same time, well, it's interesting because I feel like, you got to be open to other people's ideas, but at the same time, I feel like, but usually it's your idea that's best. So look at that. Two major arcanas. One is your ruler sitting next to the emperor. there's a part of me that feels like it's my father that's with my son. And again, please know that when I talk about myself, I say it out loud because I feel like I'm supposed to. I'm noticing all these sunflowers. Look at the Six of Cups. I have to tell you, right now it feels very spiritual. Like there feels like there's a real spiritual edge to this reading. Like, I'm reading far beyond the cards. I feel like the Six of Cups, that's the energy of when you're remembering, remember the happy times, the good times, the treasured times. Some of you, this may talk about a person, and it may be someone from your youth, let's just say. It's interesting though, because I feel like they seem like boy and girl, but yet the boy is handing her flowers. And I feel like they must be old enough to understand that. All right, anyways, let's keep going. I feel like there may be a few of you making an announcement that it's funny. I feel like the Empress needs to be up because I feel like potentially pregnant, but maybe it's pregnant with an idea. I just feel like you have an announcement. Okay, everything's face up. We have the world, the next chapter. Interesting. And we're heading into 2024, which is an 8 universal year. It's funny because the world is like the two circles of the eight, so to speak, or you can look at eight as infinity. Then we have the Fool under the Emperor, and then we have Judgment. I feel like there may be like a grandfather who's, I don't know why I'm thinking grandfather, but I feel like a grandfather who's receiving some good news. Um, and I feel like it's from the family. And it just feels new. You know what I mean? Like a new baby. Maybe someone's announcing a new partner. Again, it could be tied back. Judgment, your spiritual team. Hmm. Calling you to the present moment. The Fool's right next to Judgment. So, like, the Fool's like, here I am. Here I am. Standing in line. I'm ready to go. The Fool takes the leap. It's interesting that the Fool is looking back. That's interesting. Maybe that's why Judgment is blowing the trumpet, like to get the Fool to turn around. No, no, you're heading this way. You're meant to be heading this way. Because sometimes the Fool can be foolish. Now, I don't necessarily feel that, but I am noticing, again, the Fool looking back. All right, let's keep going. There's something new. And it may just be one element, but I feel like, ultimately it feels like it changes your life, your world, and maybe those around you in some way. It's interesting. What am I feeling? I mean, I am feeling the energy of joy, just like God asked us to, right? I'm feeling that. Like there's joy here. The Fool could certainly speak of, with the father figure above, like the arrival of, look at this. Three of Cups. So you're doing exactly what God asked you to do, right? This is about rejoicing and celebration. How interesting below the Six of Cups. Listen, it's almost like I bump across someone accidentally, but was it really an accident? You know what I mean? And maybe, that's okay that I think that, because maybe that's just how I'm supposed to think. But I'm feeling like, interesting. So not only is your spiritual team that's calling you to the present moment coming under the sun, which is illumination, by the way, nothing's being hidden. It's going to be clear. I do feel like it's about a new direction. I do feel like automatically it's something that makes you joyful. Again, pulling back from joy. It's like she's celebrating with her three sisters, her three best friends. Somebody may be getting married. There's definitely a connection going on here. The marriage card under the world, come on. Mirrored by the Fool. I feel like this may be one of the announcements that I'm committing myself or marrying maybe someone of my past. If you ask me like how did I, and if it hasn't happened yet, like how did I like come about them? Well, I was just doing my thing. And lo and behold, there they were. Hmm. I definitely feel like, immediately you feel this energy. Like what I've been feeling all along. I feel like, because I do feel like someone's coming into your life. Let's just put it that way. Someone's coming into your life. If it's not someone from the past, it may be someone who reminds you of someone from the past. For some of you, it can certainly be a child. And then maybe then there's a commitment or vice versa. However, some of you, this is like, again, like an accidental meeting, but yet I feel like it's not really an accident. Hmm. Let's keep going. I mean, what does this Emperor have to do with it? Six of Wands. Energy of victory. Ooh, my screen just went dark. I'm doing your reading at night, by the way. I don't know. I'm telling you that. I just feel like I get a different vibe when I do them at night. I feel like I get more spiritual, maybe. Anyways, hmm. Six of Wands is like you're claiming victory. This is an energy where other people are looking up to you because of actions that you've taken. I feel like they must be proud. Matter of fact, the only thing I really have to watch out for in the Six of Wands is I don't allow it to go to my head, right? I stay in the energy of joy, even though it's a victory, victorious type energy. I'm still humble to the energy of joy, if that makes sense. All right. I feel like there's a few of you that like you talk about love, like with others, maybe you have a channel, that type of thing. And I feel like surprisingly. it's happening to you. I do feel like this may be energy that is going to feel surprising, even though I'm telling you, or if you've already gone through it, you know what I'm talking about. But everything is good about it. Everything is good about it. I just can't figure out who the emperor is at this point. Well, I feel like he's different things. There's the empress. Oh no, yep, there's the empress. There she is. You know, I have to say, when you put the empress and the emperor together, they do complete each other. I mean, the emperor is more of like he puts a methodical plan in place. He's still leader of the people and does well, if he's in the upright, which he is. Um, it's someone that the people look up to. I don't feel like, I'm not a dictator, not that type of, but they look up to him because I feel like because the emperor has been there, done that. Like I've started at the bottom and I worked my way up. And I feel like the empress is, same thing. Like she had overcome the paths of all the queens to become the empress, right? She had to walk the pinnacles and right, I had to build my career, I had to, stay optimistic, keep moving forward in the wands, I had to learn the art of communication, speak my truth, be who I uniquely am, and all that comes with time. You know what I mean? And I feel like when we reach the Empress energy, now we have that collective wisdom. So, anyway, she's very loving and nurturing, where he may be very stern, but yet it's the way his love is shown. It's almost like if they were my parents, I would probably go to my mom for, advice, and I'd probably go to my dad for money because even though he's like feels stern, I feel like he's also loving and giving. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's keep going, but I'm happy to see them both. Hmm. All right, look at this. We have the High Priestess, your intuition. And then, hello, Ace of Swords. Wow. That ace feels really big too, like it's important. Probably the communication, right? It might be the communication that starts everything, gets the ball rolling. I feel like it's mirroring the world, so it's part of, you know, this chapter. And what's in between the two of them? The marriage card. And what's mirroring the marriage card? The Fool. And again, the Fool is looking back, and then we do have the Six of Cups. So for some of you, I can't help think it's someone, could be someone that you already know. Let's just put it that way. And I feel like you're the one who's just like it's an accident almost. I don't know. But I feel like immediate joy from it, whether I show it or not. It's almost like two people who knew each other, who it kind of reminds me of Sam and my story. Like two people who knew each other back when they were just young and then come back together as, as the emperor and the empress, like the stories, the lessons that we teach each other or that, we talk about, which I feel like help the other. You know what I mean? So, wondering if this ace is like how it all begins. It's interesting, it's the last card. So maybe again you're taking on this energy, right? You're allowing that playful side to come out. The Fool again, I'm not carrying the weight of the past with me. And I want to take a leap. Now, again, I don't know if they're going the right direction. Maybe they are. But maybe for some it's the other direction. But nonetheless, I feel like your guides are going to let you know that. How do you know that they're letting you know? Your intuition. Remember, it is your GPS. It's going to direct you to what's right, what's wrong, whether to take a right or take a left. I've done that where you're just driving down the road and it's like this is before GPS. This is when we had like an actual map. Um, but you were like, like you felt like, I don't know, I feel like I'm supposed to take a right. I always got things backwards. It's interesting. If I came out of somewhere, I went backwards. But I always swore I was right. That's interesting. Hmm. Okay. I don't know why I'm telling you that. We have the Seven of Wands on the bottom of the deck. It's a little defensive type energy. It is an energy where you're standing your ground, and maybe you need to. It can be the energy of defending off attacks. It's on the bottom of the deck, so I feel like it's the energy that hopefully is leaving because, I don't want you in that energy, whether you're the one being defensive or you're defending yourself. Five Pentacles. Hmm. I feel like some of you just may be giving someone bad news. It may feel like bad news to them, but I don't feel like it feels like bad news to you. It's interesting because it's almost like, I know this personally where, you break up with someone and then, you become involved with someone else and all of a sudden the one that you broke up with, now they want you back. It's like, sorry. I'm not saying things like that can't work out. Don't get me wrong. Because I feel like, I often feel in my life like, I could go this way, I could go that way. And whatever way I go, that's just what I'll make work. If that makes sense. All right. I did see your major arcana on the bottom, the strength card. So, I saw strength card's not there anymore. And then the sun, your ruler. All right. Let's bring the Gilded Tarot and let's start with this Emperor. Moving into the sun, into the Six of Cups, and then the World, the next chapter. Okay. Five of Swords, so, doesn't put him in the best light. I feel like this is one or two things. I feel like either it does not put this person in the best light. There's something about them that has become toxic that, they then try to put on you. And, you have to make the decision like, no, no, I'm not going to take that toxicity upon myself. It's yours. You own it. And I feel for others, this could be like a father figure who maybe you are making an announcement and I don't know. Like I don't like the response. They may tell you that if someone's not good for you. I'm feeling the opposite. High Priestess. She did show face up in reverse, so I'm going to put her that way. Over the sun, over you. Your intuition. You're not trusting your intuition on something. And it's really important that you do. And I feel like why would that happen? Like, what would stop you from believing in you? Someone else's talks, like someone else's drama, someone else's words, right? This can mean communication, like bad communication. can be like a father. Um, Maybe I don't want to be like my father, and that's why maybe I should be celebrating. If this is like a child, maybe that someone is worried about that. I don't want to be like my father. I guess female too, right? Maybe I don't want someone like that. Anyways, it's not a good thing that your intuition is in reverse because it means to me you're not listening to, your gut instinct. And instead, like, maybe you are taking on this Five of Swords where I really don't want you to. All right, let's keep going. I might come back. I'm sure I'll come back. Hmm. Five of Pentacles. And then look at this. The Ten of Cups sits upon the next chapter. It's almost like I'm telling someone that I would normally look up to. I'm telling them, I ran across so and so, and, you know, coming together. Like we're coming together in some way, some fashion, we're coming together. And I feel like someone is like, taking it hard. Um, Almost feeling like you're, hmm, they may even be talking harshly. I feel like, I want this high priestess switch turned back up, turned around, because you really need to pay attention to your intuition, right? So someone may be telling you like, so and so's no good, but pay attention to your own intuition. I feel like because the Emperor and the Empress are here, even though right now I'm not feeling so great about this Emperor, I still feel like, I feel like I can separate. There can be different emperors, if that makes sense. Anyway, maybe someone of the past, maybe they did throw you a tower. Maybe they did end something abruptly. Maybe someone who, if they love you, would be worried, if you say, okay, I want to go back because maybe they were with you during that period of time, when you were heartbroken. So I know that energy, right? Like I have that with my daughter where I'll be like, you know, but just, I'll say, just think back. Like, think back how you think each person you're with is like, the one you're going to be with forever. And then something happens and you think, oh my God, my life is over. And then you meet someone else. I mean, you don't plan any of it, none of it's planned. So, anyway, what I love though is the Ten of Cups is still sitting over the world. So I feel like no matter what, it's still there. That's a house of harmony. And it's interesting because I feel like if this is someone who's making a commitment, or two people who are making a commitment to each other, if it's not marriage, it is like, it is true, like it's real, like it is a commitment. And it's almost like it doesn't matter what anybody else says, thinks, that type of thing. I feel like we're making a commitment. All right, let's keep going. Look at this. Interesting. We have the Four of Wands again. Now the Four of Wands is right over the Fool. How interesting. It's mirroring the Four of Wands. So two marriage cards. Above it is the next chapter, and then the Ten of Cups. Interesting. It's just like love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Okay. The fold going right to it. The Emperor. And the Nine of Swords. Interesting. Okay, and I just want to say, I feel like for some of you, one of the vibrations of the Emperor, I feel, for some of you is like a father figure, but I feel like they've crossed over, and maybe they were difficult in life, but I feel like now, just maybe that's why I said like what my son said. I'm with God. I am love. Um, so all is forgiven or all is learned. I don't even know how to say it. Other than I feel like this is a father figure and I feel this person's wise. Like they have like conscious knowledge. And I feel like they're your guide. They are your guide. I feel like you're not paying attention though. The high priest is above him in reverse, the nine of swords beside him, like worry. Maybe I'm worried to tell someone a truth, but the nine of swords talks about unnecessary worry. Some of it's because I feel like again, it's like maybe like someone's got your ear and not in the best of ways. And you're not trusting your gut. So I feel like when that turns around, and then some of the wands here, like be careful what you're fighting for. Sometimes some things aren't worth fighting for. Sometimes, someone's not going to change their opinion, but their opinion doesn't determine what I'm going to do. It may hold value and it may hold weight, but at the same time, something over here is just so joyous that I feel like it can't help but you can't help but going forward with it, and then we keep getting the marriage card out. Hello. Ten of Cups, but then the Nine of Swords. Hmm. And look what's underneath the Nine of Swords. The High Priestess again. Interesting. In the upright though. Alright, let's keep going. It's either you're afraid of being thrown out in the cold or you're afraid of throwing someone else out in the cold. And when I say out in the cold, that can just mean, I don't know, it can mean a million different things. But things are about to change. And for both, for everyone, let's say, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? Like things can change for the better, especially, I don't know, this, we have the Knight of Cups. I knew you didn't know. Like I knew, how do I say it? Like I feel when someone new comes into your life, like I don't feel like it's going to be when you think it's going to be. It's going to be probably when you don't think it's going to be. It's almost like when I'm out like walking, I have no makeup on, I have my hair in a ponytail, I got my sweats on, whatever, I'm just out walking. Maybe I'm walking my dog, and lo and behold, someone crosses my path and we stop and talk. It can be at the grocery store. I feel like there's a million different things. Some of you, it may be like an actual telephone ringing, someone from the past calling. Hmm. Like I don't want to put any limit on it, but I feel like I knew what I knew. And the Knight of Cups, an unexpected couple fulfillment, sitting right over the Four of Wands, the marriage card, with the Ten of Cups above it and the world. I mean, the energy around it is so beautiful. The only thing that's not is the Nine of Swords. This Knight of Cups is mirror. Yeah, this Knight of Cups is mirroring the Four of Wands over here, but also sitting over the Four of Wands here. We have the King of Swords. Interesting. Knock the Ace of Swords over, or not over, but out of place. King of Swords can be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The King of Communication. He's coming over the Six of Wands. And then look at that, we have the Six of Wands again. Now, Six of Wands right over the Empress. Interesting because it's connecting the Emperor and the Empress together through the energy of Six of Wands. It's almost like we find a common platform. Some of you, it's about your voice in some way, some fashion. You know what I mean? Hmm. I know the High Priestess in reverse doesn't belong to the Empress because the Empress does trust her energy. Like she doesn't worry about anything else because she always, and in the Nine of Swords is also not hers. Maybe this is an energy that I reach as I start to see these things and acknowledge them, right? Because, I need to acknowledge what I need to acknowledge. And sometimes I need to know what I'm fighting for, and for some, I almost feel like, I'm leaving dad, but I'm going towards this love. And maybe dad's not happy about it. You know what I mean? And maybe dad doesn't have the best communication. And I don't know why I keep saying dad. Um, almost like if you do, then you lose half of the, you know, I'll take you out of my wheel. But I don't think you care. Well, then you have the Nine of Swords down here. So, hmm, can't really say that. It's interesting because it's almost like two sides of you, right? Because we have the Knight of Swords over the High Priestess. And then we have the Strength card. It was in reverse, but I'm going to leave it this way. I know some people are like, get so mad when I do that. I don't forget that it's in reverse. It's just that, I love seeing, the Strength card over the Ace of Swords because, first of all, I feel like, whatever the Nine of Swords is, the High Priestess in reverse, the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and Seven of Wands, whatever it is like energy, well, that ultimately creates the Nine of Swords. So, that's one side of yourself. And we all have that where we can like, our minds can go in a whole different direction. You know what I mean? Um, so I feel that there's that side, and then there's the other side where I almost feel like I don't care what anybody says. I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna feel what I feel, and I feel like you're feeling ultimate, like pure joy. So, all right, I want to come back, and I want to look at first of all, I want to look at the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords attached to, let's say, the Five of Pentacles. And for some of you, I feel like, it's simply worry over someone of the past who at one time, Five of Pentacles happened, that's a cut, you know. Um, sometimes it's energy field thrown on the cold, so it's like something that's against our control. It can be someone broke up with me, right? And I don't want to go back into that energy. Man, I feel like whatever flowing here though, it just feels unstoppable. It feels unstoppable. Huh. Feels powerful. All right. We have the Three of Wands. It's all in the way I look at it. We have the Four of Cups, discontentment, boredom. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Interesting, you have two threes here that are grounding this four cups, discontentment and boredom in one's life. So, if, and then there's this cup coming in, but it asks you to use your spiritual discernment. It's interesting because the Three of Wands being on one side, that's the way you're looking at your life, your future, and it's with an optimistic view. It's like I know my ships will come in when my ships are meant to come in. And I feel like, what can I do in the meantime? Well, I feel like with Three of Pentacles, especially with the Empress down here, very creative type energy. And I feel like other people appreciating, like valuing that part of you. Interesting. Maybe I didn't get that value here, but like in life, I end up finding it. I get it. Maybe I found my soul tribe, not just a love, but a soul tribe. I often feel that here. I was just saying to Sam the other day, I said, sometimes they think people on YouTube, you guys know me better than anyone. All right. Anyway, what were we looking at? The Nine of Swords. So I feel like you want to change in your life. And it's like the universe is hearing that. Whether I mean to put it out there, it just feels like it's going out there anyway. I feel like change is going to find you. Or it already has. I think like why, like I say, I'm in a life right now where I'm really unsatisfied. I'm really discontent in this life. What would make me stay? Well, if I look above at the Five of Pentacles, so maybe finances, well, what can I do? Put a plan in place, because it feels like there's something that's unique to yourself that you can create. You know what I mean? Maybe it's right out of your home. And I feel like a lot of times when we move into our creative house, they become alive. Also, I feel like in the Five of Pentacles, it's temporary energy. You are moving towards soulmate type energy, like the right people will be just almost like in place at the right time. And this you may notice, you may question, like, oh, right? Like someone just gives me like a piece of advice or a helping hand just at the right time. And it's like you stop and you're like, know that that was probably a soulmate. And that simply was like our agreement. I was just going to give you this and then keep moving on. All right. What else do I want to look up? Let's go up and look at this Emperor with the Five of Swords, Page of Swords. I feel like we saw the Page of Swords somewhere. And the Hierophant, part of Taurus. I almost feel like I'm crossing someone's belief system, and it's not to say that like, it's almost like someone who does religion by the book and is someone who goes out and lives it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't say what I say. I go out and do like I help where I can type of energy. So it feels like two different energies. But it all feels like it's stemming like almost from faith. I feel like this emperor just has a bad temper and could even use a good book as like as a weapon, which would be a shame. Hmm. I'm sure that's not everyone. Okay, I think I'm going to let that be though. Just going to see what comes out. We have the Four of Swords healing. We have the Page of Wands. There you are. There's your inner child. And if you follow my readings at all, I call the Page of Wands the Fool. Because I feel like the Page of Wands is someone who, you know, does take chances in life, does follow one's passion and desires, can come across the energy where you're stopped in your tracks. You know what I mean? Page of Wands, just like the Fool can be foolish, I can fall at times, but I feel like as a page, you also get back up. And I love that healing is right here. And then we have the Wheel, Destiny. Look at that. Oh man, makes me think of a song and I cannot think of the words at all right now. Why I fall right down, I get up again. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 I get up again. Oh, I know I heard it before in one of the readings, and one of you gave me the title. Again, I forgot it. Anyways, look at the wheel. Destiny. And that's kind of what I feel is happening. Like this is part of your destiny. And those who stand before you and your joy, like what are you gonna do? Sometimes you do have to cross a line. Now, I want to be careful how I say that because, I feel like ultimately, like you have every right to follow what you feel in your heart. Let's put it that way. And follow who is in your heart. And listen, we can't base our whole life on what didn't work out because that'd be like Sam and I not working out. Well, we were together when we were young and we broke up, and here we are now together again, 40 years later. So you know you just never know. And I'm saying that because, we didn't come together it's funny in the beginning, like maybe we did come together as like that 16-year-old, you know, but then the queen and king would eventually come out, the real, hmm, um, just, I feel like just allow surprises and follow your passion. I can't help but think there is love entering your life. I can't help but think that. And I feel like no matter what direction you go, I feel like it's entering your life. It's funny. Someone left me a message and said, I want to know who it is, when it is. It's too hard for anybody to really tell you that because you have free will. They have free will. Your guides can't control that. Your free will is your free will. But, the wheel turns when the wheel turns. It's almost like it doesn't, like when we think about time, it's only us who puts like it on a clock, right? Spiritual time, like there is no real spiritual time. It just, like when the lesson is learned, the lesson is learned. When, you know, the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So it's funny. Now I'm looking at all these cards and I'm thinking, I don't really think I need to read any of them because I feel like we know what they all mean. Faith, faith. I have faith in God to heal this situation. The Four Swords. Here's the healing prayer. Instead of worrying, the Nine of Swords under here somewhere. I pray about this situation to bring about real solutions. And that's what we want. We want real solutions. Self respect. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. Joy. I felt that all through this part of the reading. By enjoying this moment, I am giving thanks to God for my life. And then God. I stay out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. Leo. I'm going to leave it there. Um, it's like one of those things where you don't know until it happens. And until it happens, you may be like, whatever. You know what I mean? But my life has been, situations that just boom, like that, change, some good, some bad. Um, but it's what you do with it. You know what I mean? And sometimes we gotta give bad news. Sometimes we gotta take it. But I don't know why I'm telling you that. I feel like this is like love, 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 and I feel like spirit guides here. Your intention, 9/10 of the law, healing, right? If I fall, Four of Swords is right here. Like, well, we'll allow it to heal. Then the Four of Wands, mirrored by the Four of Wands with the Knight of Cups over it. Unexpected. I mean, even in the Four of Cups, there's a cup being handed to this person. So it may be way back here, right? Where I have to use my spiritual discernment. Anyway, I could just go on, but I'm going to let it be. I love you guys. I thank you. And by the way, I should have said this at the beginning. I keep forgetting. For I was doing a 5 days personal reading special, take $44 off a 155 reading, brings it down to 111. Um, I'll put that information below. And because I didn't get to your reading and Virgo's reading and Cancer's reading in time, I am extending it for each sign for 24 hours. So, you can put Leo if you want in the memo. You don't have to. Um, but I will extend it for 24 hours from whenever I release the video. I'm doing it at night. I'll probably wait till tomorrow to release it. But holy cow. Holy cow. I feel like there is a spiritual level to this reading, and you coming to that point of like your spirituality. And I feel like this is destiny at its finest. So it must be well deserved. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I thank you as always in all the ways you support my channel. I won't go through it all right now. You just know how thankful I am. I wouldn't be here without you, and that's the truth. I do it for you. Um, so thank you. I will see you next time at our table. Bye bye.